I asked you the original language Jesus preached. You said Aramaic. Do you have any early manuscripts in Aramaic?
No.
Good. So not even the original language. Forget about the early manuscripts. You don't even have the original language. We have the original language. We have the early manuscripts. You know where's the earliest manuscript of the Quran? Just like one of the earliest fragments of the Bible. It's again in the UK. It's in the Birmingham University. Yes, it's called the Birmingham manuscript. It has been dated from the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In fact, they date it to about a few decades, 20 or 30 max. Yes? So we have the manuscript, and by the way, that's not the only one. We have many other manuscripts. We have the Salam manuscript, we have the Tohfapi manuscript, and all of these are within the 100 years after Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You have 0 manuscripts from within time of Jesus, 100 years after. Okay, 0 manuscripts. And this is the difference between the Quran. So original language, we have the manuscript evidence, we have the oral tradition. And you know how the oral tradition works? Let me tell you how important it is to preserve every letter and every word in the Quran, that they have a chain of propagation. Okay, there's a chain of narration for the hadith, yes, and the chain of propagation for the Quran. Yes, so they propagate from the teacher to the student, and this student then becomes a teacher, and then to their student, so on. Yes? Sorry, the chain of transmission. That's quite good. So they have the chain of transmission for the Quran, and everyone who memorizes the Quran, the Hafiz, that teacher gives them a sanam, which is a chain of transmission. And all of that, all the time, goes all the way to Prophet Muhammad. So we can actually see how it has been transmitted from the Prophet Muhammad until that student, the last student, is memorized. And then when he becomes a teacher, and then the teacher passes it on to his student, that will be included in the chain. So you see, my friend, the Quran is perfectly preserved in the original language, with the original words, and even the pronunciation. You know, we have Qaris. So they learn how to pronounce every word in the Quran exactly without changing the meaning. And even that is preserved. This is how significant it is in comparison to the Bible. And that's the reason we believe that the Bible has been corrupted over time. We have people who are not Muslims like Dr. Badraman who have actually exposed this, that the Bible has been corrupted. And many things, you know, all those red letters you read in the Bible, which are supposed to be the words of Jesus, these are just assumptions from people that Jesus spoke those words. These are not exact, verbatim, the words of Jesus Christ.
It's called the ipsism of verba, ipsism of aught. It's just talking about preserving the voice of Jesus.
So it can be something which is paraphrased, right?
So
can it be paraphrased?
So wait a second.
It is not exact.
The original manuscripts were written in Greek. That's what Matthew wrote. That's what Mark wrote. That's what John wrote. That's what Luke wrote. That's what Paul wrote. That's what Peter wrote. They wrote these manuscripts in Greek.
How can someone like John, who was a fisherman, write fluent Greek? You tell me.
His Greek is actually pretty easy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not to the level that they wrote.
Oh yeah, John's easy Greek.
I don't think so.
Yes, trust me.
So at that time, and by the way,
John's very easy.
This is the argument of, again, someone who's a New Testament scholar like Badraman. So it's not your...
Wait, Badraman is a New Testament scholar, but he's not the only New Testament scholar.
I didn't say he was the only one. I said unlike you and me...
But he's also an atheist, so you're quoting an atheist.
But he was an ex-Christian.
You're quoting an atheist.
He's an ex-Christian.
No, he's an atheist.
Doesn't matter. He's an expert in that field. You and I are not.
He has an axe to grind. So you're quoting...
Why do you think he has an axe to grind? Do you think that whatever works that he produces, people would not, I don't know, tear it to shreds if it was the case? The fact that they cannot produce any manuscript from the 100 years, within 100 years of Jesus, the fact you cannot produce the original language even, the fact that people like Matthew, who were fishermen, would speak in fluent Greek, I think these are valid points.
No, that's not a valid point. Greek was spoken all through the area where they lived.
So was Aramaic.
So Greek, Aramaic, Latin, they were all spoken in that area.
But the point remains, the teaching was in Aramaic, of which you have 0 manuscript from the early period.
Jesus didn't write anything. His disciples did. His disciples wrote for their audience. Their audiences were reading in Greek.
Would it not be more plausible for his disciples to write in in Aramaic?
No.
Why not?
Because they had the Septuagint in Greek, which was also translated in the
No, but
language.
Septuagint is the Old Testament. You're talking about that.
Well,
We're talking about the New Testament.
but the Septuagint was translated 200 years before the birth of Christ, so that the people of God could read it in their own language,
Why?
which was Greek at that time.
No, which was Aramaic at that time. You agreed.
So
In
Jesus-
fact, Greek was the second language that was
It was
used.
the second
and
language.
it wasn't by everyone.
It was,
okay?
but
it wasn't spoken by everyone.
But it was the Greek was the common language that they would all speak, even if they did not speak Hebrew or Aramaic.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. The point
The
is
point
that-
still remains.
the point
Why
is-
did they not have it in Aramaic?
Because they wrote in Greek.
I didn't ask you what they wrote in. I asked you why did they not write in Aramaic? Could they write Aramaic or not?
I have no clue.
You have clue about the other language, but not this language. Why?
I have no clue whether.
Okay, anyway, look. The point. Look.
Well, I'm telling
You
you
know,
what they did.
I can
You're
give you.
talking
I can give you
about
many
hypotheticals.
other examples, like the end of Mark 16, the long ending and the short ending.
Yeah.
Which one do you agree with?
Shorthand.
Why?
Is that most manuscripts agree with that?
So it's the majority you look at, yeah?
You know, you look at the earliest manuscripts.
And you don't have any of these manuscripts.
The earliest manuscripts don't include the end of the Gospel of Mark.
So the later manuscripts is a corruption?
Later manuscripts add things.
Corruption?
Right, so the,
Go on, say corruption.
it's not.
It's a catch-22, mate. For an American, you should understand that.
I understand that. I understand the phrase.
Okay,
But
so
the-
if you say it is not a corruption, so it must be true. If you say it was a corruption, you're still in hot water because we were trying to prove, or your question was, where is
No,
the
but-
Bible corrupted?
But no,
Catch-22, mate.
no,
Can't
it's
get out
not.
of
It's
it,
not
yeah.
a. It's not a
Yeah, it is.
because here's the thing. By saying that in textual criticism, right, as these documents were copied, they made mistakes in copying. There's a copyist error. Okay?
No, long ending is not a copy's error. It's extra bits.
Extra bits.
It
Yeah.
can't be a copy's error.
Well-
It's a corruption. When you add to the word of God, okay, what did Jesus call the Pharisees?
And there are all sorts of places where scribes made additions and.
Additions.
But here's the
Additions.
thing.
Wait.
But here's
No, hold on. Additions is corruption. Okay? When you take away things and you add things and you twist things, all of this is addition.
All right, but let's clarify. All of the New Testament writers in every single manuscript, they all agree that Jesus died on the cross, that he was buried, and he was raised again on the third day. Every single manuscript agrees on the major testimony of the events of Jesus' life.
Yeah, but we don't have any evidence for it.
Yes, we do.
Do we have any eyewitness evidence?
Yes, we do.
Where is evidence?
Peter says we were eyewitnesses to his majesty.
No, eyewitness to the crucifixion.
John says that which we've seen with our eyes, that are heard with our ears, that our hands have
Crucifixion. Stop twisting. I know that all those are different contexts. Do you have any evidence, eyewitness evidence of the crucifixion?
We have 4 Gospels written by 4 different people.
Can you name an eyewitness? Come on. Name me an eyewitness.
John,
Who saw the crucifixion?
who saw the crucifixion, he was standing there. And
Where
Jesus,
does it say that?
He was standing at the cross, and Jesus said
Where
to him,
does it say
John,
he saw?
behold, he said, the disciple whom Jesus loved, who is John.
Why
How
was it only John?
Because that's how John refers to himself in the Gospel of John.
No, but how do you know John even wrote the gospel? Do you really? Well, by the way, do you actually think that Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John were written by these people whom they have been attributed to?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You really have to go and look at textual criticism. All the by the way, this is kind of unanimous among the people who are experts, even the Christians, who are experts in the New Testament. Yes, and its history, that they cannot prove that these people, to whom, by the way, you know, early they were not called Gospel according to Mark, according to Matthew. They didn't even have names. It came about later on. Please go and study them. Don't just jump and assume things.